Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. My name is Magaloni Ramos. I'm one of your worship associates. Let's take a breath and arrive together. All the critters can take a breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Athena can feel the little light on her. And listen to the little panting and the little footsteps and the little long nails scraping on the floor. There's somebody talking right now. Let's give it a little bit more time to get settled a little bit more. And then we're going to light our chalice. Okay. All right. Let's light our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, and mark this time as sacred. Please say the words with me of our chalice lighting, those of you who know it, or if it's in your order of service as well. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the fire of commitment. We light this symbol of our faith as we gather together. Welcome.
Good afternoon, beloveds. My name is Mark Caswell. I'm your ministerial intern this year. And today we're blessing our animals, great and small, and some of them very small. And many of us have been blessed to have enduring relationships with non-humans who might tug us down the street or cuddle in our laps or receive our greatest forgiveness when they have torn apart a shoe or a sofa or emptied a large container of their food onto the floor while we were out of the house. We welcome all these beloveds today. Those who can be with us today and those who could not be here physically. We carry the spirit of their love in our hearts. We are joined today by Mari and Dolores and our musicians Bill and Lila, Jonathan Silk and Katie Schmidt from Muttville Senior Dog Rescue. Today's Today's service will be recorded but not broadcast. And during the blessing, which will happen at the end, we'll be capturing photos of participants. And if you don't want to be photographed, you can let one of us know or place your hand over your heart when you come up. And if for any reason you need to pop out for your own needs or your beloved's needs, please do that. Please take care of yourselves during this time. And then let's please rise and body and spirit and join us in singing our first hymn, All Things Bright and Beautiful. The lyrics are printed in your order of service.
Good afternoon to everyone and to all the beautiful critters here. And welcome to the Blessing of the Animals. My name is Dolores Perez Heilbron, and I'm the chair of our congregation's UU Animal Ministry. This blessing is held around the feast day of Francis of Assisi, who over 800 years ago preached for compassion for the animals, the earth, and peace in this world. At this time in our country's history, it is even more important than ever to actively work for justice and protection for our planet and for all of its creatures. We who cherish our animal companions can attest from our relations with them to their intelligence, their feelings, and their love. They play an important role in confirming our striving for justice for all sentient beings, great and small. Our committee promotes educational events on the importance of maintaining natural habitat for all wildlife. We participate in activities aimed at preserving our ecosystem and recognizing the current climate crisis. We present speakers engaged in animal rights efforts to support compassionate agricultural practices for animals raised for slaughter by exposing food production systems that cause unspeakable suffering and are unhealthy for us. We encourage people to consider eating vegetarian and vegan diets. We join with environmental groups to advance for preserving our local forests, air, and waterways. In fact, one of our members, Wayne Shung, received our annual Hero Award for his role in rescuing sick and injured chickens from a factory farm up in Sonoma County. Wayne, who was found guilty of conspiracy, is appealing his conviction soon, and some famous lawyers across the country are supporting him with amicus briefs on his behalf. Many of you know Wayne, I'm sure. If you are interested in joining us in our work, we would like to hear from you. Please sign up on the information sheet at the entrance. There's a sheet there for you to sign up and give your name and phone number if you'd like to be a part of this group. Thank you so much. And now I would like to introduce Kati Schmidt, a volunteer with Muttville Senior Dog Rescue, who will talk about their work with older dogs. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to hang out with this lovely Miss Shibata. She is a sweet 14-year-old and one of the many, many senior dogs that Muttville cares for. Muttville is a nonprofit organization that was started in 2007 out of the founder Sherry's house, because she realized that dogs over 7 are all considered seniors and therefore are unfortunately often the first to be taken off the care list at foster centers, and just have overall been underrepresented and cared for. So she took it upon herself, started Muttville in her organization. And today, I'm a Muttville volunteer for the past 4 years, and this was my first time going to their new facility on 22nd Street out near Potrero. If you haven't been there yet, it is outstanding. Muttville is just such an incredible organization. They were the country's first, as I was reading some notes, they were the country's first cage-free facility. When you go to Muttville and are looking at all the dogs available for adoption, they're not in pens, they're just all playing or cuddling with each other in the room. It's so sweet. I used to be a volunteer on site where I would go once a week and do the dog's laundry and take them for walks. They don't take care of their own laundry. It's fine. But Muttville, provides an incredible array of opportunities, whether, you're looking to make that full commitment to adopting, or if you want to foster, if you want to volunteer. I'm on an events list, and I saw this wonderful opportunity, and so I left my 3-year-old dog with her grandma, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna come hang out with some mutts today. So it's a really wonderful organization. There's some literature on the desk as you're leaving, and opportunities to support. But again, Ms. Chibata here is one of hundreds of dogs that Muttville has cared for through a full service of veterinary care, again, on-site and foster opportunities. So just a really amazing, heart-filled organization in a time where we all need a lot of hope. So I encourage you all to support, and thank you so much for giving me and Chibata the opportunity to join you all on this blessed day. Thank you.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
So today, I'm so excited. I grew up with some very poorly behaved dogs, I guess, and I'm so proud of all of your dogs that are all here together and so well behaved. So today, maybe it's going to get a little serious a little bit. How can we recognize the worth of a sentient being? What is sentience and what is worth? What is being? Is it worth it? Sorry, let me tighten this. Is getting a little droopy. There we go. Okay. These are big questions, right? And they can transform our lives and the lives of people and non-people around us. And those questions, I can't answer them all for you. And if I did, we would probably disagree. And that would be okay too. But this is a place where we can hold a variety of truths and ways of knowing and coexist, and it's a safe place where you can ask big questions with curiosity. I don't have all the answers, but I can share how my view of sentience and being was transformed, and how I learned that worth is an action. And the attention, energy, and effort we offer noticing the world around us. That it can expand the circle of our love to include a vastness of beings that we might rush past in our busy lives. So I attend a liberal Christian seminary. I thought that I graduated in the spring, but I have one class left, so I'm finishing up. And that seminary honors the value of pluralism. So we attend very excitedly to study world religions. It's a class that everyone goes to with great interest. We discussed earth-centered traditions along with Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Shinto, and more. And I noticed that we spent a lot more time talking about the facets of Buddhism than Shinto. In fact, Shinto only has a name because it needed to be differentiated from Buddhism in the 6th century. That tradition is woven into the culture of Japan with rituals that celebrate and honor the kami, or spirits that inhabit the world. It's often said that this is just for scope, that there are 8 million kami in Japan. Almost any time some part of nature catches your attention, that is the kami. That beautiful tree in the courtyard, perhaps a plant that you have a special relationship with, a rock that sort of has a special vibration, a river, the wind, the sun. They have spirits that we can honor. Now, this is an oversimplification, but when visiting a Shinto shrine, you often see people holding a tree and exchanging energy with them. It's sort of like a hug, but that's not what's happening. But the scope of what's sacred when we interact with things shifts from being transcendent, which means it's far away, it's over there, it needs to come here, to something that is imminent, meaning that it's here already, it's all around us. So you can notice the spirit or the miraculous vibrations that we're all made up of as being sacred. It's shifting your perspective just a little bit. So this summer, while I was at the Tsubaki Shinto Shrine in Suzuka, Japan, I learned about the ever-present nature of the kami and began noticing things differently. The first day I arrived, it was the last day of the rainy season, and the persistent rain made every interaction intimate. We walked uphill to the main shrine, stopping at the first torii gate to bow. The torii gates mark a distinction between the spirit world and our world. We cleansed our hands in a short ritual, and I was brought to the morning service. I was told that I didn't have to kneel the whole time, but that I could sit on a little folding canvas-style camp chair, and of course that also many Japanese people also need to sit on these chairs because they're not used to kneeling for an hour. And out of some sense of ego, maybe, I chose to kneel. When the ceremony started, a large drum sounded, and the vibrations were so loud that I felt like I became part of the vibration. I also noticed that a cicada was circling me, and the entrance to the Shinto shrine is open, so things from outside can come in all the time. There are lizards and spiders and flies and cicadas. Well, so while we were doing the ritual, the cicada kept flying around my head and landed near me on the tatami mat while we were bowing. Then we clapped twice, which I won't do right now because of people might get scared. And then we bowed 2 times, and that's a really, really important ritual of honoring. But so then, quite suddenly, that cicada landed on my nose, and I was surprised, and I sort of just froze in my spot, and got really nervous about what was the appropriate thing to do while I was in this other country. What was the etiquette? I didn't know. And I felt sort of like just a little poke from it, and then I got freaked out, and I shook my head, and the cicada flew off. But it was this thing that I realized that I was being visited by the kami. And that happened every single day that I was at the shrine. There was a day where I was completing our morning cleaning activity. I was sweeping leaves with a tall broom near the main shrine. And one of the cicada landed near where I was sweeping and just sort of said, hello. And I said, hello, thank you for visiting me. I'm honored. And another day I was studying in the office, and one of the cicadas just landed on a book that was near me. It was a historical dictionary of Shinto, and I felt so welcomed. I felt so greeted by the attention. It was so warm. And I wondered if the cicadas were noticing me. Were the kami noticing me? This experience taught me that while I was noticing and offering attention to these friendly creatures, they were also noticing me. The cicada, the ginkgo, the tsubaki trees, and the frogs and the spiders and fish I encountered. Poet Mary Oliver states, I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention. The attention that we give each other and the sentient beings around us reveals their inherent worth that might be obscured by societal marginalization and systems of neglect and othering. This paying attention and responding to the world around us is an imminent way of being present to revelation each day. And our vision is not all-encompassing. We're not omniscient beings. We can, however, be present to the lives of the beings that are in our scope. Look at all the love that's in this room. Look at all the joy. Notice it. Offer it attention. As Unitarian Universalists, let us live into this world in which revelation is not sealed and worth is revealed. Let us participate actively in the lively parade of animals that are with us today, and also the plants we notice on our way home, and the humans that are noticing the plants and the animals, and offering each other attention. A world in which we can recognize that each being we encounter is essential to the interdependent web of all creation. Amen. May it be so. If you'll rise in body or spirit and join us in singing, All God's Critters Got a Place in the Choir.
Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wires, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wires, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo. Bugs and the cats, they take up the middle while the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, the donkey brays and the pony neighs, and the old coyote howls. Oh, God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wires, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now. Listen to the top where the little birds sing on the melodies, with the high notes ringing, and the hoot owl hollers over everything, and the jaybird disagrees. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day, the little duck clucks and he's on his way, and the possum ain't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wires, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now.
Thank you all. Let's all just take a little breath. We're going to move into a time of remembrances. I find these words by Mary Oliver that I referenced earlier helpful. They're from the poem, The Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand. who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts up her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, and how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Our time together is short, and our friends have gone, and yet their love and memory is imprinted on our hearts. At this time, you're invited to say the names of your friends and beloveds who have died at this time.
Bianca.
Simone. Jingles. Wendy. Thank you. May sharing your loss together make your suffering bearable, and may we carry it together. We'll now move into the blessing of the animals. Dolores is going to stand as a marker at the back of the chapel to act as a guide, and I'm going to invite Mari up here to help me. And if folks from this right side want to come up first, then folks from this left side, and then folks from the back row, if you want to make your way towards Dolores and line up and come down the front. That sounds really complicated. I think this is going to be really beautiful and very exciting. Friends, thank you so much for receiving these blessings with your companions and your beloveds and your family. Please rise in spirit as we sing our next hymn, All Creatures of Earth and Sky. And the words are printed in your order of service. Well, let's send a blessing to Cookie, who is whole and holy, part of our interdependent family. May Cookie provide you comfort and compassion and care in the year to come. We will close our time together with a modified version of the prayer of Saint Francis. Love, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine love, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, and to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, and it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in loving each other that we are blessed with life. Though we extinguish this chalice, you may carry its flame in your heart, and may the grip of addiction be loosened, and may every oppression be lightened. May joy break through, and may love make all suffering bearable. Amen, and go in peace.